Hello, students. Welcome to the Love School Questions and Answers, confronting the myths and misinformations about relationships.
Where couples and singles learn the intelligent love.
We're going to put for you an excerpt of last Sunday's lecture that Christiane and I gave to couples here in the Temple of Solomon during Sunday's meeting. We take a few minutes to give tips to couples, little tips here and there. And last Sunday's tip was regarding objectives and goals. It seems something so obvious, but practiced very little among couples, and thus the reason for many separations and unhappy marriages. Let's watch. A very common word, but understood very little, and let alone practiced by many couples is this. Can two walk together unless they are agreed? Says the prophet Amos. So, can two walk together unless they are agreed? It's impossible. You are here today, you couples. One of the reasons why you are here today, now, here, because you both agreed. Let's go to the temple. Some are here alone. A wife or a husband is here alone because their spouse said, "No, I won't go." You couldn't come together because one didn't agree. As simple as that is, whether coming to the temple or going to the supermarket or anything else, you can only walk together if you agree on the destination you want to reach. This is obvious and as common as 1 + 1 = 2. But most couples with problems don't practice this principle in their marriage. They are together, or they want to be together, but they don't agree on the final destination that they want to reach. They differ on the goal. For example, there's no agreement when it comes to finances. They fight about money, about expenses. Why do they argue about expenses? Because one of them is thinking like this. No, I want to save. We have to save. Let's save some money so that 5 years or 10 years from now, we can buy this or a house. We can have a much more comfortable life. We can open a business, etc. And the other says, no, I think that if we have money and we have an old couch, we can buy a new one. We can't save money. We never know what the future holds. I only know now. My couch is worn out and I'm ashamed when we have guests come over. They are never going to come to an agreement, nor walk together, much less prosper. Know this. You who don't come to an agreement about your financial life, about your finances, you'll never prosper. Never. You'll always disagree on money. Therefore, your finances will always be in trouble. Until you understand that you first need to decide the outcome. What goals do we want to reach financially? Oh, so it's here. Agreed. This is what we want. Then, now you can walk together. And this is regarding to your financial life, regarding to your children. Maybe you don't come to an agreement about your children. One of you wants to be harsh and the other one doesn't. If you never come to agreement, the kids will be like, Mom or Dad, I'm going to use mom against dad and dad against mom, because they never come to an agreement. So you'll have problems with kids. You'll fight because of them, and they'll get worse because they see you don't agree with each other. This is regarding children, regarding money, regarding your health, regarding your spiritual life. Some don't even have the slightest spiritual goals. One recognizes the need to seek God, to take their faith seriously, and the other thinks, it's not like that, not really. I don't need this, or I don't need that. So it's in all areas of your life. The couple who will be perfectly adjusted and be happy is the couple who first agrees on the outcome of things, the goal they want to reach. Then, and only then, they can walk together. Otherwise, you will end up separating.
And always question why you make it such a point to do your will. Because sometimes both think like this. No, this is our destiny. Both of us want to prosper. Both of us want to earn more money. We want to buy a house. So you have the same goals, the same objective, but how to get there is what is different in your opinions and what you think. And many times you are not just thinking about the final objective, the final goal, and much less in your marriage. You're thinking about yourself. And I speak now especially to women, because we are living in a generation that women were created to not listen to men. Most women that we counsel, that we hear, they say that my mother told me to not depend on a man, to not let any man tell me what to do. I have to tell myself what to do. Nobody can tell me what to do. They were raised like this. They were brainwashed. So many times it's not because you think this is right. It's because you don't want to be told that you're wrong. You don't want for him to get his way, for it to be done his way. You say, no, it has to be my way. It doesn't matter what he thinks. It has to be how I want it, how I think, how I want. And I'm going to tell you, I was not raised like this. My mother didn't raise me like this, but I've had those moments. I've said here before that one time we had different opinions about a certain situation, and God showed me that I was wanting him to think like me. Why? Why was I wanting this? Because perhaps you think that you're better, because you need to have control over everything. Everything has to be your way. So this already starts showing another problem that has nothing to do with the objective, that has nothing to do with which is the better way. It has to do with pride. That is, many times they're deep down inside of the differences in the opinion. And the same thing with a man. Sometimes men are sometimes afraid of the woman telling them what to do. Many mothers told their son, don't let a woman tell you what to do. A woman's not going to tell me what to do. So any opinion that the woman says to him, no, he doesn't hear. He doesn't hear not because that opinion is not right, but because he is afraid of hearing the voice of a woman. He is afraid to give ears to her voice and then end up thinking that she's the one that's right. So both sides have this problem deep down inside of fear of giving in. No, you're right. It's fear. Fear of you being inferior to the other person. Fear of, thinking that if I allow her to do this time, then she's always going to be wanting to boss, so I can't. But that's other intentions. You're not thinking about the best for the family. You're thinking about the best for yourself, about how you're going to be before that person. And that you'll never be able to be happy in your marriage or in your life with God. Not even with God. If you're seeking the Holy Spirit and you're like this, not even the Holy Spirit's going to come upon you because you're the one that's in charge. You see in the prayer that the Lord Jesus taught us, may your will be done. For us to have a relationship with God, we need to give in. We need to submit to God's will. For us to have a blessed marriage, we need to learn to give in to the best option, to the best for the marriage.
And this is for both sides. Submission is not exclusively for women. In any relationship, there has to be submission. If you look at society, for it to work, it has to have submission. In traffic, you sometimes have to let the others pass. If you always want to be in leave, you'll cause an accident. It's like that. At work, you sometimes have to submit, not only to your boss, but to colleagues, to your clients. Yes or no? Life is like that. And in marriage, it's no different. Submission is not exclusively for wives, but husbands also. An intelligent husband that wants peace understands that a happy woman means a happy marriage. Then he knows that if he wants to have a happy marriage, he'll have to make this wife happy. And this means giving in as many times as possible. So this battle of the sexes, look, a woman doesn't rule over me, or a man doesn't rule over me, that is a trap from evil to destroy the family. You can't see each other as adversaries or enemies. You have to see yourself as a team. A team works like this. Who's best at this? There are couples where one is better at something. Usually one is better at managing finances. One is good at doing spreadsheets, at controlling receipts, at making notes. One is better than the other. So let the one who is better and resolve and manage the finances. What's the problem? If it's the man or the woman, what's the problem? Christiane takes care of everything at home. From time to time, she gives me pocket money. Oh, I need to go cut my hair. Okay, she gives me. I'm fine with that. That's no problem. I leave everything in her hands. Obviously, because I can trust her. The beginning of our marriage was difficult. There was a moment where I took everything from her. When we had our first credit card, she used it without asking me. I said, give it to me. But she learned. We talk to each other, and we have the same goals. So you have to work on this. Sometimes you think your wife or your husband knows where you are going, that they understand the goal, and it's not always like that. The goal must be specific. We want to buy our own house. Okay, we have to buy our own house. But not even this is a clear goal. What kind of house? Where? When? Will it be a small apartment or will another style of house? At what price? You have to agree on this so that you have a clear view of where you're going. Oh, now I see. It will take this long. So no one demands from the other one saying, so when are we going to get started? No, because you both know and you're working for it. Thus, there is a partnership. There is strength. This is what you need to do. From time to time, you have to sit down and talk about your main issues that you have. If you don't agree on a day-to-day issues, it's probably because you don't agree on bigger goals that you may have. So talk about these big goals so that those small quarrels that you may have, you will resolve. Let's answer questions from our students. This student says, I've been married for about 3 years, and for about a year and a half, my husband has made himself 100% available for his mom and his siblings. This is bothering me. All right, I understand that we should always help our parents and siblings, but I find his availability out of line. They always send messages wanting help on something or talk about the problems that are happening in their house. Well, I'd like to know if I'm wrong about being annoyed by this, or if all this makes sense. I've already spoken to my husband about it, and he disagrees. He says that it's his mother and his brothers feel that they can count on him because he's the most available and receptive. Anyway, I'd like to know if it's wrong. Sometimes I think I'm just being mean. Sometimes I think I'm right about this. Renato and Chris, help me.
It's complicated, I understand, because many times family members, they need help and they don't have it. And they count on the children that usually are married or in a relationship already with another person that also expects all attention from them. So I see it like this. There are cases and cases. Of course, the order of things, like as God said it in Genesis, when he created marriage, he said that man would leave mother and father and would be together with his wife, and they would become one, and there they would be a family. Of course, we understand that he would have to leave his parents, and they would be just family members, so that his family would be his wife. And that he needs to understand. Perhaps your husband's not understanding. So now that you finished your honeymoon, we could say, because you're married for a short amount of time, he started to go back to how it was before, which was his family, and giving them all the help, which is not wrong. It's wrong when he puts his family above his wife. Then that's wrong. So there are cases and cases. We're here listening to your version of the story. Sometimes we know that there are women who really are really put aside, husband or wife, they're put aside by their family. And sometimes it doesn't happen. There are sometimes needs. There's a great need in the family. The husband could be that he's not exchanging the wife, but he's just helping the family. But the person who is married to him or her sometimes is jealous, sometimes doesn't like to know that another person is taking away the attention of their partner. Sometimes they don't want to share their financial life. It's one more expense for the family, which is his family. So that happens, and we need to know both sides, right?
Yeah, usually. And here goes a tip for the singles. Pay attention, you who plan on getting married, who is still to choose someone, or are dating, or engaged. Pay attention, because usually in every family, there is a son who is the support system, a son or daughter who is the support system, the pillar for the family. In other words, it's usually the one who is more focused, more reliable, who the parents count on more, who is more reasonable, more mature, the one that the family counts on the most. Usually there's a child like that. The others are less reasonable, less responsible, and so on. So that's why the son or daughter is overloaded with this responsibility. So when you are single and you're dating a person or considering a person to marry, you must have this family overview. What's the role of your fiancé in the family? What is her role? Are they the black sheep, or are they the family support system? Or is she the person that her parents can't wait to get rid of? There's also this, son or daughter. You must have this overview. You see, because people usually don't talk about this. Usually the person who's dating or is engaged, they're not thinking about this. They think about wedding day, about the dress, think about sex, buying a house, and so on. They don't think of who they're taking home. And this thing to say, oh, I'm not going to marry his family, I'm not going to marry her family, I'm marrying her. That's what you think.
What did he say?
Do you see this student's question? Only been married for 3 years. I doubt that he developed this attachment to the family after he was married. I doubt it. You heard about this and didn't understand the size of the problem before getting married, or you didn't see it and now you're seeing it. This is no longer useful for you, but for singles who are watching us. Analyze and see if you're willing to deal with the person the way he or she is with their family. Now, something else. When you're starting off a relationship, which is the case here, you've only been married for 3 years, it's ideal for you to already place certain standards within the relationship. What you accept in the beginning becomes a pattern for the future, for the rest of your married life. So if you accept this situation now, it would only get worse with time. I think you're right to say if he's always at his parents' house, if he's still living with the life of mommy and daddy's little boy, then he's wrong and you're right. It's necessary, as you said, Cristiane, for her to distinguish if he is doing it by habit, a force of habit, which is what it looks like, or if it's a habit of his or because of the family need. Is it an attachment that he has, or is it a specific need that the family has for now? And at some point this will end and he'll be able to give full attention to his new family.
In this case, when the family is really in need, really needing help, the right thing would be for the partner to also be together with their son or daughter and help the family, right? Because you're going to be gaining credit with your husband or with your wife. In your case, my friend, if you get together with him and help the family, because sometimes you can also help because his family is part of his life. I say this because I know, for example, if I speak about myself, my family is part of my life. There's no way for me to remove my family from my life to live just for Renato. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a mother. So I'm not a granddaughter. My grandma's not alive anymore, but we are many things. We don't stop being these things when we get married. So Renato, for example, he understands that I'm a daughter and that sometimes I need to be with my mother. Sometimes I need to help my mother. Sometimes I need to help my brother, my sister. He understands that. And he doesn't use that against me. Of course, me, I know that I can't put them above Renato. Renato comes first. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to help my family, that I'm not going to be part of their life, and they're not part of my life anymore. No, you have to see this. You have to take care of this part as well. Because sometimes the person who is on the other side, they just see their side. They see, oh, they could be spending more time with me. They can be spending their money on me. Could it be that you're being reasonable in what you're asking for? And one more thing, just to finish here. Many women, and I'm going to say something that I'm pretty sure many are going to hate me for, but many women, they are not good housewives. So your husbands end up liking more their mother's house that has food that is ready for them. And then you complain, oh, he only wants to stay in his mother's house. Because there he's going to be eating good, because in your house there's nothing to eat. You don't take care of him. So there's a tip for you as well. If you want to be the one preferred in his life, so you also need to do certain things for him, not to need to go to his mother's house.
Yeah, it's not really a competition, but it ends up being. Because he has to like his new family more than his family of origin. And this you have to build together. Here's a final tip. Read chapter 14 in the book Bulletproof Marriage. It talks exactly about this issue, the order of relationships. If you haven't already read it, then read the Bulletproof Marriage. I'm sure if you put these tips into practice, sail through.
Did you know that over 50% of couples who get divorced regret not trying harder to save their marriage? No one gets married to later get a divorce, but sometimes it seems like there's no other option. Wait. you haven't tried everything. Bulletproof Marriage has already helped millions of couples all around the world to avoid separation. Even if one party isn't willing to change, or the relationship seems like a lost cause, give yourself this opportunity. Read this amazing book and shield your marriage against divorce. Buy the book on Amazon.com today. Imagine waking up one day to find that you married the wrong person, or that you lost your true love because you ruined your relationship, or that you'd missed it when that special person came into your life. For those who don't want to spend the rest of their lives regretting a bad decision, Bulletproof Dating is a must-read, no matter what stage of singleness you're in. Whether you're alone, waiting, dating, picking up the pieces of your broken heart, divorced, or widowed, this book will help you navigate the complicated world of modern relationships. Years of experience have given Renato and Cristiane Cardoso authority to say that most divorces start during the dating phase. Bulletproof Dating is a manual for all ages and will open your eyes and show you practical actions you can take. It's time to learn intelligent love. Ebook available on Amazon.com and other online retailers.